Hi everyone, this is Erin from Sandpaper Road, and today we're going to be making 4 cards with 4 supplies. Now this is a sort of a range of all the supplies, but each one of these cards in its very basic form used 4 supplies to make. And today the main common denominator is this Happy panel die from Creekbank Creations. I love it so much, and I know you will too. And so let's get started making 4 cards using combinations of just 4 supplies. So stick around. For our first card, we're going to use these 4 supplies. These 3 are from Creekbank Creations. This is super tacky tape, and it comes in a big roll. And then this is the Happy panel die. And this is the Dancing Kings die. I really like this a lot. And this is an accessory that goes with the Sizzix Big Shot. This is a Texturz rubber silicone. I mean, plate isn't really the right word, but it's a rubber silicone piece that you can buy as an accessory. And we'll use that actually to emboss. We'll start out our first card by embossing onto, we put our die on here, and then what we do is layer it like this. And, oops, that didn't work so good. How about if I stick it better? This is just a piece of washi tape, so I need to actually stick it right there. Yeah, that's good. Well, anyway, it will emboss that image right on there. So let me do that. What happens is on your Big Shot machine, you flip the tab over, and then you put down the cutting pad and then the rubber plate or the rubber piece, and then the next one just like normal. And then when you run it through like so, then what you've got when you take this off is an impression. I probably could have used a little bit of undo or something. But anyway, look, you get an impression. See how it's embossed on there? I know. Now you're thinking, oh my goodness, that opens up a whole realm of possibilities. So if you never saw that before, that is why it's one of our supplies. In these 4 cards, 4 supplies videos, I'm not counting things like the Big Shot or Cardstock or basic adhesive that we use. But if it's something out of the ordinary, like that shim plate, that's maybe something extra that we would have to get. I will count that. So now what we'll do is that we have this to the side. Then we're going to take another piece of cardstock and the super tacky tape. And I'm going to mount this on the tape just like so. Oops, do I have 1 or 2 here? I sure do have 2 in my hand. Good grief. Okay. Like that. This tape is no joke, by the way. No joke. And then I'm going to cut and, oops, I could hold it a little bit better. And now I have a sticky back piece of cardstock. And I'm going to run this through my die cutter just like normal. But look, when you do it, when you die cut a panel, these panels are designed to fit a card front. So my thought is, if I cut this out, what I can do if I measure the panel correctly is then I'll have a little outline left over. See? And now, look, now see, just as I thought, I've got this little frame that I can use later. Isn't that fancy? That's so fancy. And I can take this off. The Creekbank Creations, Julie is my friend at Creekbank Creations, and she often uses a little bit of undo to take off her washi tape. My washi tape is not that awesome, so it came off pretty good as it was. Now, with this, how nicely this comes off. And it is, ooh, just one little hole. That's okay. Now, this has a sticky back. And so what we could do is stick one, I have a couple panels pre-cut for this, these 4 cards. So what we'll do is stick the happy, happy, happy panel onto here. But this one is embossed, remember? We could leave it like that. It looks fine, but I mean, you can't see it. So what I'm going to do is use the negative space from this, and I'm just using this Spellbinder's tool in 1. It is common to me because I use it almost every day, almost every minute, it seems like. And we are going to put the negative space right there. But look, the embossing helps us know where to put the negative space. Okay. So for example, I'll show you on a bigger piece, and then I'll do some fabulous video editing and cut to the finished card, or the finished part of this. Okay. So you just pull this backing off. I say just like it's easy, and it is pretty easy. Okay. And you can stick it right there. And all you have to do is follow the lines. See? Lovely. Isn't that a good idea? I love the rubber Texturz plate. Okay, this is all finished. We put the negative piece, and I'm not sure if you can see in the video, probably not, but because this was embossed first, and then we are actually putting the negative space on top of the raised part, it still has a little bit of a raised feel to it. It's really interesting. It looks like the panel color that we started with is debossed. And I really like that. That was an answer to my prayer, because I was trying to trace, I was trying to trace over this die with a pencil or something so that I could use the negative space. And then I remembered that I had the rubber silicone. So this piece then we will place on the other panel, and it can be a little bit tricky. You can use, I think you can use like a, well, you don't want to use a powder tool because then it won't be sticky at all. That would sort of defeat the purpose of the super tacky tape. You can use a little bit of undo adhesive remover if you have that. Not one of your, I'm going to put this down quick. I have some nearby. And again, this is, I'm not considering this one of the supplies because I consider this common, and I know that you can do this technique. You could put this panel on the other panel without undo. So because of that, it's not like a required supply. It just personally makes my life a little bit easy. And it dries. You know, I had undo all over this and you couldn't even tell. And it just makes positioning just a little bit more user-friendly. There. And it's just perfect on the first try, because it doesn't just, you ever put something down and it clings to it right away and then you're like, oh, and you can't do anything about it. And there we have it. 2 nice, beautiful panels. These are 2 A2 top folding cards, and these are not part of my 4 supplies because this is considered standard, but if you go like this, you've got an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So it's just literally cut in half down the middle and then scored and folded this way, and you have 2 cards. Super, super simple, easy, economical. And this is my Scotch Advanced Tape Glider, which I like to use. Make sure that my folded on the bottom. And we can just lay that down. That is a beautiful card. Honest to goodness, that is just a beautiful card. Nice and flat. I love that die. I have been making cards all day long, just here in my own personal space, and I cannot get enough of that dye. And we only, if you're not counting, you know, your basics like your die cutting machine, and you're not counting like the cardstock, you're only using 4 supplies. Isn't that lovely? Now these are pretty simple. They would be good as is. They are not embellished enough for me. So whatever I just did with the other, here it is. This, now this right here will save for something else. It's still got the sticky back on it, and I love that, and we can use it for another card. So we'll put it aside. This, I'm going to get some black cardstock. I have just a piece, and some more of the super tacky tape. And ooh, I like this better because this fits on the tape better. Okay. So I will go like this and run this through my Big Shot, and then you'll see what we're gonna do next with that. So once you die cut out the kings, the little dancing kings, then you get, I mean, I love this so much. I could use this in every card somehow and find a way to use it, and I'm serious. Look at that. I love it. And so I thought what would be neat is if, it just seems like if I did this whole thing on top of the cards, we would lose out on some of the text. So I thought, well, let me just use, I'm imagining just this king here, king, and then just this end one. So why don't we cut out the middle one, and then we'll have, and I'm just going with my scissors, oops, okay, and cutting off this little middle king, just like that. And I know it seems so simple, but don't forget that just because you see a die or have a die, it doesn't have to stay that way. You are in control. So if you like a die and you think, oh, I wish it was this way, just make it that way. Just make it that way. And because we had a sticky back, we just took the sticky back off, and look at this. I'm going to put him right here. No, I'm going to put him right there. Look at that. So his arms go up. How about right there? How about right there? That's right where I want him. That looks amazing. That looks amazing. Love that. And we'll do the same on the other one. Just like that. I love this because it could be, I love that it just says happy, happy, happy. And I liked adding a little king right there because it could be for any occasion, a birthday, a celebration of any kind. My kids and I have something we celebrate called Yay Day. I mean, seriously, anything. So those can be considered done. If you want to embellish a little bit more, that would be beyond the 4 supplies that we started with. Next, I'm going to start with a piece of copy paper of all things, and for my next card, and some super tacky tape. And we're going to make what Julie Creek over at Creek Bank Creations, she calls this the tape sandwich. Now I have to admit that when I first saw and / heard of a tape sandwich, I didn't quite get it. I didn't quite get the purpose. Then I tried it, and then I tried it with something other than super tacky tape and something other than copy paper. And then I understood. So here's the copy paper, and we put it on a piece of the super tacky tape. And it might be hard to see because it's white on white, but I should have used a different color copy paper, but that's not typical. Then we're going to pretend that the super tacky tape is the bread, And the copy paper is the meat. And we're literally going to make a tape sandwich. So I'm taking this is the top, and this is the paper, and I'm laying it back down the same way as I just did, thus making a tape sandwich. It's really, I guess, I mean, if you want to get technical, it's more of a, I totally did that crooked. Look at it. Totally crooked. But that's okay. It doesn't make a difference. And it's really more of a copy paper sandwich than a tape sandwich, but Julie Creek calls it her tape sandwich. She's the inventor of the tape sandwich, and this is the way she does it. And it's a really, really, really good idea. Now I'm going to cut off all of the excess copy paper because I would never fit this through my Big Shot otherwise. And I really just want it so that it's tape only. Okay, and if you're doing this yourself, you'll so be able to see where copy paper sticks out. I totally did that messy, but that's fine. And if I flip it over, I'm just checking, oh yeah, I've got some problems over here. So we're just gonna fix that up some. All right, now again, if this is the first time you are seeing the tape sandwich, I am with you on your current emotion, because I promise you the first time I saw this, I was like, wait, what? I was like, I don't even understand what the purpose would be. I did it one time and then I was like, that's genius. What happened to my die? Here it is. Okay. Let me do this way. How about that? I'll just cut a piece. I'm not really concerned about having a frame but I have this nice tape sandwich left over. And it's nice and smooth on both sides because we've got tape, then a piece of copy paper, then tape on the other side, right? Now I'm going to die cut this. I totally forgot to tell you the 4 supplies we were going to use for the next card. I just went ahead and started doing the next card. So these 4 supplies for the next one are the super tacky tape and the happy, happy, happy panel die. Mind you, still semi stuck to the tape sandwich because I was mid-step. And I'm going to use some glitter and undo. Now this card, and with this technique, I really couldn't do without the undo. That's why I'm including it as a supply. So we have already made the tape sandwich and I die cut it. And let me get this over here. I was not really trying to create a little frame with this. It's just too hard. You could, but I'm not. So I'm going to forgo that. And not making a negative image, although I really could. Actually, maybe I will, but we'll pop this out. And if I do something with a negative image, it's not going to be in this video. That's what I'm going to say. I'll try it on my own or something. So what we're going to be doing is sticking this down, and similar to what we did before with the cardstock, except when we pull this off, now again, you could get away with doing it without the undo. I really think you're gonna need the undo for this. And the way you do it is you just take some, it's one of those things where it almost doesn't seem like it's actually gonna work, because you think, how could this be anything, how could this even be okay? You're pouring all this liquid on something sticky. It smells bad. It smells like something's wrong. And guess what? It works and you never know. It's like a dream. So then you stick it down on, this is just a card panel, the same as before. And the purpose of the undo is now, even though it's super tacky tape, now I can move it around a little bit and get it just so. But it looks like I need a little bit more, because it is starting to, I didn't have nearly enough right there. And it is sticky, so sticky. And don't even worry, I mean, look at the way I'm being all messy with it. but don't even worry about it dripping on the paper or anything like that. When it dries, you don't even know you did it. Okay. And it doesn't take long to evaporate either. Now, I am not pleased with this edge border, and I could move it, but not for like 1/8 of an inch. So where's my other paper trimmer? Because I could just eyeball that while it's evaporating. There. Right, like that. There. That makes me a little happier. Okay. It makes me happy. I know, it's horrible, horrible. So, when this evaporates, now we have a tape top. This die cut is just a tape top. And what's going to happen is we're going to pull this tape top off and then pour glitter onto the tape. And you may think, what was the purpose of the copy paper? Well, you can't just run this piece of tape through your Big Shot. It's got a sticky side. And you can't just put tape against tape. Like, that's what I tried to do. Brilliant me, right? I tried to just like fold it over and then run the die cut. But you can't, because there's nothing to undo. It's just a big mush of adhesive in the middle. And it needs something in the middle. So that's why I said it's a really, really good idea. It's the tape sandwich, courtesy of Julie Creek from Creek Bank Creations. Have you ever done something glitter on like a card panel and then you tried to adhere it with the glitter on it? It's just, the whole time you're doing it, you're like, oh, dang it, I should have done this in a different order. There we go. Okay, so now this is going to be my nice card base. I know it looks like, woo, crazy. But now we'll pull off the backing of this. Remember, it was a tape sandwich. Oh my goodness, and it is sticky. And I did get it all up. And now I'm just gonna lay this on just whatever I have nearby. I know it, I'm so sorry about it's probably hard on your eyes. Okay. Lots and lots of glitter. I mean, why not? We're just gonna put it back in the jar. I don't have to work all sparingly. And you know, I even have one of those things, one of those little trays, but I can never get the rubber stopper out the way I want to. So I just use a little piece of paper. Okay. That looks amazing. I mean, seriously though, where's a dryer sheet? This is what I was looking for in my mind. Look, this is just a dryer sheet, and honestly, I could just go right over that. I should have done this with the dryer sheet before, not after, huh? But still, the point being is I can go right over it, and it's not rubbing the glitter off. That was my other thing. I thought, oh, the first thing I have to do is put it in the mailbox and it'll rub it right off. But it doesn't. It just becomes like one of those cards in the store that has a glittery front. Nice, huh? Look at that. Isn't that remarkable? Now see, you couldn't have done that. I mean, the tape sandwich is what let you do that. The tape sandwich with that super tacky tape. And really, that super tacky tape is the tape. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave links below to all the products that I'm using today, so you can check them out for yourself. For my fourth card, I'm going to use these 4 supplies. The same super tacky tape and the same happy die. But I did bring out this is actually a panel that I cut from clear plastic. It's from a deli container, or if you have acetate, that would be probably better. I did not have any on hand, so I used this. And then the label rectangle stitched also from Creek Bank Creations. And I think, which is the one I want to use? This is my card base. Yeah, I'll use that one. Okay. So those are my 4 supplies for this card. And let's see. What I'm going to do first is, I think I'm going to prepare the card first. Now I have my card base, and then I have an extra just panel cut of white. And what do I want to do? What's going to be the best way to do this? The best way, I think, is to go like this. I'm going to lay it in here. And where is a piece of washi tape? You know, I am forever losing this washi tape. I put it down somewhere. Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to tape it just quick. And let's see. I want the stitch. I want to see a stitch. I do want to see a stitch. So I'm going to tape that there, and I'm going to eyeball this to the front. Now I think there is probably a nice way that you can, you know, measure accurately. I just don't. I'm so lazy when it comes to making it precise, because it seems like my eyeballs are faster. All right, I'm going to move this to the side and let me cut that out. That is beautiful right there. That is beautiful right there. And now I have 2 panels that are not glued together, and then I can use them on other projects. I could probably just keep continuing and make far more than 4 cards. But I'm not going to. Now, before I untape this, you know what would be smart of me to do? Would be to just take a little pencil line and go like that in this corner. Because then I will remember that it was this side up. I'll line those up later just for myself, and then I can erase them after the fact. Okay, good for me. Good for me. Now, I'm going to take this piece of acetate. Does this fit in this panel? It sure does. All right, good. I'm going to take this acetate, and just with my ATG gun, I am going to go right like this. Oops. And not stick it to my card. Like that. And then turn this over and stick it to the inside of the card like this. Okay? Now, I do not want to open up a card and see this big piece of plastic with an edge, which is why I made this piece. And I can put it right like that. Oh no, it sticks out of the side a little bit. That's okay. That's okay. You know what I should have done? That's okay, because you guys can see what to do. But do you see what I'm talking about? How the plastic sticks outside? I should have trimmed it to the same size as my panel first, but that's okay. It's fine. And now I will, it's literally not enough for me to even worry about. It's one of those things that when you're a perfectionist, you see it, but when you're someone else, you just say, oh, what a nice card. And if it gets all turned around, or if I go to tape the wrong side, see, I've got that little pencil mark there. So now I know that it lines up right like this. Now, you would think that you wouldn't need to line it up, but I'm telling you what I know. I had the biggest time trying to be like, why doesn't this want to line up? Now, you know what I could do, honestly, just because I'm me, what I'll probably do is go back and, oh, do you know what would have been awesome? Oh no, I threw it out. Remember the edge border from this, from the other card? We could totally put that right in there. Oh, look! I have one from another example. Oh, I had one from my example from when I was doing my samples before I do the video. Of course, I can't get it off. I try to not have you guys be the guinea pigs. I know you could probably not tell that from all of my mess ups as I go along, but that is exactly what I was thinking. Look, 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 look. See? Oh my gosh, I hope this fits. Let me turn it this way so that I can see it better. Oh my gosh, did you hear my stomach? That was so embarrassing. Oh my gosh. Oh man. There, I did not even use undo because that looks great. I did not get it much straight, but that's, yeah, I like that a lot. That looks awesome. Oh, I'm happy that I'm so happy about that. I'm even happy that it was gray. Very nice. All right. All right. Let's see here. Of course it was gray, and then I don't have any other gray cardstock nearby, do I? The next step is we're going to cut a happy, happy, happy panel out of cardstock, but I want the cardstock to be backed with super tacky tape, and now I can't find the piece. I kind of wanted it to be gray, but I can't find a piece, and we'll lay it right over top of here. Okay, let me go get a piece of gray cardstock. Even better, I totally found this piece of purple glitter stock in my stash. So I'm happy about that. And I backed it with the super tacky tape, and then same process. Okay. Oh, I'm glad I used this. This is a little sturdier. And lay this right over top. Oh my goodness, I hope this is right side up. Okay, good. I always check that way too late. Okay, now you could use undo if you wanted. I am not going to on just this one. There. Now, doesn't that look nice? Now, here's the cool part. Is look, we have already look, we've got the acetate, and because it's the super tacky tape, then you don't see, it's just clear inside. Isn't that lovely? Look, somebody can open that and be happy, happy, happy. Look. Neat techniques. Neat. Now again, these are super simple. You could certainly and absolutely and 100% send a card just like that. But as you know, I like to do a little bit more embellishing. So at a very basic level, these are our 4 cards with our 4 supplies. And each card used a slightly different modified version of 4 supplies, but all using this all using this happy, happy, happy die from Creekbank Creations. Now I'm going to go through and finish these cards and embellish them just a little bit more, and then I'll come back and show you some pictures at the end. So we've already done our 4 ingredients, 4 cards. I started embellishing with paint. Paint is probably my favorite way to embellish because it's so easy, it's inexpensive, it lasts a really long time, and you get a lot of bang for your buck. And then I also have Nuvo crystal drops in 2 colors, black and white, and just some sequins and glue dots. Actually, I think these are Zots. Yes, they are. They are Zots, Therm-O-Web Zots. So, I mean, this is just a matter of picking up a glue dot. Totally did not do that the right way, because you would, yeah, generally just stick the sequin. I completely did this the long way around. Why does it always happen that I do that on the video? I have the whole world to get ready for a video. I have a video editor, and then I sit down and then here I go again. And I don't know why. I just do it. So easy, inexpensive, and how about if I just do it the right way this time around? This video is like its own blooper reel, it seems. So, yeah, just quick. Now, you'll see that I started with the paint, the black paint, and I will show you that in a moment. Okay, I just wanted to get these down. That is seriously a beautiful card. I really, 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 really like that a lot. If you're going with sequined embellishments or glue dots, crystal drops or anything, go for odd numbers. There, look at that. Isn't that nice? Very, very nice. If you have shaker tendencies, of course you could make that into a nice shaker, you know, but I just didn't want to do that on this card. Not at the moment. Okay, so that's that. I like that being done. Now, the black is just, let me show you on this, and just for sake of messiness, let's see. You know what? For sake of messiness, let me use an acrylic block, because then I can move the acrylic block out of the way. I normally just do this right on my craft mat, and then I have a big mess to clean up. And this is the Dylusions paint. Oh, Black Marble. Black Marble is the name of it. Okay, by Ranger. Now, there is nothing special that I do here. It's literally just, and some of you will cringe because you'll be like, oh no, don't do that, like Bob Ross putting a big tree in at the very end. But it's just the look I like. I like the sort of the aged, worn, boho, distress sort of, I like that kind of messy look on my cards. So this to me is actually finishing it, not ruining it. And yeah, I like that a lot. And I'm very, very light pressure. I am not pushing. That's how you get that sort of drag. Okay. Now, that is good and fine and good for me. But it's not done. You could certainly do black or white. And I totally wanted to show you this other paint. This is Opal Magic. I have two colors in my stash. I have violet gold and I have violet green, and they're by Prima Marketing, and I am in love with them. Which one would we use? I think we would use the violet green. Yes, yes, yes. Definitely the violet green. Now, here's the most awesomest thing about this is that when you put it on dark paper, it this particular color will show up the, well, here, just watch. Here's a piece of dark paper. And what is this? Light? Oh, here's the cutout from this thing. Okay, so watch what I mean here. On dark paper, okay, and on light paper, you see the green. Now, that you've got to admit, that's the most awesome thing you've ever seen, honestly. So, because it does that, I don't know why I just closed it. Because it does that, look at that. Oh, and it dries like with a little metallic finish. So because of that, what I wanted to do is put some on these cards, because I've got a mix of dark and light colors like on each card, and I thought how awesome would the results be, because we'd have especially because we already did that black, and we've got some black, so I've got some dark and some light that will show up. Oops, and I'm getting paint everywhere. That's okay. I just love the look of that. Look at that. Now see how you can see, because I've got dark and light. So you get some of the gold and some of the green. That makes me happy, happy, happy. I'm telling you. So I'm going to go through and do a little bit of that on each one. Okay, here's a final look at the cards. I'm going to show you carefully because they're still a little bit wet. But we use, for each one of these cards, we use 4 supplies. And then after we got the basic design, of course, you can embellish as you want. And so this was a really fun project. And thanks again to Creekmint Creations for supplying the dies and the super tacky tape. I'm telling you, that super tacky tape is no joke. It is great. And so if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Sandpaper Road on YouTube. And don't forget to click that little bell in the bottom right corner to receive notifications. And you can visit sandpaperroad.com for close-up photos and DIY tutorials, or to shop for products. You could follow Sandpaper Road on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. And a complete list of items used in this project will be in the description box, along with links to social media. So thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye-bye.